if there's any last minute props to be grabbed, something to function as a block or a strap or anything like that that you have and you like for your practice, go ahead and grab it. Just a moment to sit. Just begin to soften your breath, allow a natural rhythm in and out. And just take a moment to be out of the cycle of, for lack of a better term, the cycle of the mind. And specifically, I mean, whether you're feeling really hopeful about the coming weeks and getting out of your house, or you're feeling really not hopeful about the coming weeks, whatever it is, just see if you can check out of that mindset and just be right here. Just get away from the cycle, be in. I'm currently studying with my lady friend and housemate, Susanna. We're doing this course online studying the roots of Hatha Yoga. And Hatha Yoga means the physical stuff, all the movement stuff that we do. And sometimes I get a little bogged down in my own mind for how repetitive some of these motions are and how the movements kind of don't change that much. And it's because the things we're doing have roots in such ancient practice. And so it's just been a lesson for me lately is like, yeah, it might feel pretty similar kind of a lot of the time, but that the reason is it's been practiced for many, many thousands of years. And so it's just the practice that is passed down to us. Just a couple more breaths, settle in. And take this really calm, centered breath and mindset and come to stand at the top of your mat. Move really slow with your breath as your focus. Stand at the top of the mat. Bring your toes just barely to touch, heels slightly apart. Engage your quads just enough to lift your kneecaps. So if you have straight legs, find the difference between straight legs and hyperextended legs. You don't want to hyperextend the knees. So if you do hyperextend, just bring it back just a little bit. Draw your low belly in, relax your shoulders down your back. Let your palms hang where they will. There's no need to turn them out or back or anywhere. Just let them go where they will. And then act as if your middle fingers are growing down toward the ground. You're reaching out of the shoulder socket, shoulders down and back. Again, low belly in, lengthen through your spine. And then bring back that breath that you had while we were seated. So often we just breeze through this standing pose, but it's really, truly, I promise, it's the foundation for the rest of the practice. Now, keeping your low ribs tucked in, see about lifting your sternum, but rather than lifting your chest up and out and rounding or flexing through your back, rather than moving like this, see if you can bring your sternum up toward your chin without shrugging your shoulders. Yeah, it's really, really intricate movement. See about with each breath, reaching your sternum out of your heels. There's that length all the way through the body. Nice. Keeping all the aspects of your standing posture. Lift your arms up really high. Again, reaching through your fingertips. And it's okay if your shoulders shrug up next to your ears. That's what they're supposed to do. When your arms go above your head, your shoulders supposed to come up here. So just let them come up. At the same time, draw your side ribs in, your lower ribs in, everything in nice and tight here, but lengthen. Yeah, keep breathing like that. As you take a few more breaths, you'll find that a challenge is not hard to find, even with something as simple as holding your hands over your head. Just stay in the breath. One more inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips, to your waist. Nice, keep this length from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Really gently bend your knees. As you send your butt back, bring your chest forward, right into a halfway lift. And you can keep your hands at your hips or maybe to your shins. Yeah, you keep drawing your shoulders back and down, reaching your sternum toward your chin. So rather than flexing out your spine, keep your spine long, sternum reaches, tailbone back, slight bend in your knees. Low belly in, breathe here. Bend your knees a little bit more and start to lower your chest down toward your thighs and your head and shoulders down toward the mat. Keep your knees bent. Just allow your torso to relax over. You can have your hands down to the ground or maybe clasp opposite elbows. Keep your torso relaxing forward, but work to straighten your legs, but rather than pressing your knees back into hyperextension, see about lifting your sit bones up and out. So you're rooting through your heels, finding that length and strength at the same time through your hamstrings. Not resting in the bones with your knees flexed out all the way. Steady breath. And bend your knees a lot, and one vertebra at a time, roll all the way back up to stand. All the way back up. When you get there, reach up high. Exhale, hands by your sides. Again, on the inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Halfway lift, inhale, shoulder blades back, low belly in. Exhale, fold with bent knees. Roll all the way up to stand, reach up, inhale. Exhale, hands by your sides. Again, inhale, reach up. Keep that leg fold all the way forward. Bend your knees, halfway lift, inhale. Keep knees bent, fold forward. Again, halfway lift, inhale here, long spine. Bring your gaze forward. Keep your gaze forward of your mat. Plant your hands, come back to a high plank. Nice. Strong through the palms. See about turning your elbows back toward your hips and add just a little bit of bend to your elbows. Yes, you're not resting in the bones. You're not resting in the stacked position. Slight effort with bent elbows, and keep that same length from the tailbone through the crown of your head all the way out through your heels. See about unshrugging your shoulders. Yeah. Maybe even tilt forward onto your tiptoes. Yes, lengthen just like that. And breathe. Where the body starts to warm up, notice it. Where the arms and shoulders get really tired, notice it. Yeah, one more inhale. Exhale, set your knees down. Then at the same time, your hips and chest, set it all down. Nice, press into the tops of your feet. Inhale to lift your chest. See about drawing your shoulder blades back and down. One more inhale here. Exhale, release. And press up into a tabletop. Nice, plant your palms really firmly, fingers splayed out wide. See about getting your middle finger to line up with your shoulder joint. So as you look down from your shoulder, down the arm, down to your wrist, it goes straight out to your middle finger facing forward. Nice. Draw your shoulders back and down, belly down to the ground, look up high, find a cow spine. Inhale here. Exhale, press and round, find that cat, round it all the way. Again, inhale, look up high. Exhale, press and round. Once more, inhale, look up. Exhale, press and round. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees just a couple inches off the ground. And with a straight, long spine here, maybe try pushing your weight just a little bit forward into your wrists. And then play with drawing it back into your toes a little bit more. And find a spot here that allows you the most strength. And sit in it. Nice. And then press up and back into your downward facing dog. Take a moment to wiggle it out. Pedal your feet, sway your hips, bend your knees. You're really stable in your palms. Bring your gaze forward. On an inhale, shift forward to a high plank. Keep really pressing down in your palms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, inhale forward, gaze forward, long from your heels to the crown of your head. Exhale, up and back, downward dog. And once more, inhale forward, long spine, tiptoes. Exhale, take it back. All right, step your right foot forward, soften your left knee down. Nice, bring both hands to the top of your right knee. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, press forward, just a couple rounds forward and back. Still getting things loose. Inhale to draw it out. Exhale, press in. If the mobility's there, maybe think about drawing or turning your left thigh bone inward. So it draws the hip in toward your right leg and then add a little bend here. Just a few rounds pressing in and back. And then plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Back in your dog, a big breath in. Big breath out. Step your left foot forward in between your hands this time, right knee down. Both hands up to your left knee. In a few rounds, press forward on an exhale. Inhale, draw it back. As you move forward and back, see about turning your right thigh bone inward. You add a little extension there to the flexors. And then plant your hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Nice. Set yourself up for success here. Press really firmly into all the base knuckles of your palms. Spread fingers out really wide. Yeah, and get really long through your arms. Even if your shoulders roll up next to your ears, that's okay if it feels okay for you. If it feels better to draw your shoulders away from your ears, do that. Just whatever allows you to breathe here. Find length in your spine. Each inhale, a little bit more power into the palms, up from the ground. Each exhale, reach your heels down and back. And they might not touch the ground, and that's not the point. The point here is to be grounded through all points touching the floor. Steady breath. Yeah, that's it. You stay in the breath. The point is to get yourself to an uncomfortable place and see what comes up. The yoga is not the movements that we do. It's the BS that comes up in the mind when you're in a tough spot. Just a couple more breaths. Be in it. Nice. Lift your heels, bend your knees, gaze forward. On an exhale, walk forward to the top of your mat. Find a halfway lift. Long spine, inhale. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, rise all the way up. Reach up really tall. Exhale takes it right back down, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant your hands, step it back, lower down to chaturanga position, elbows in tight, you're halfway down. If you need to set knees down, that's cool too, set knees down. But bring your elbows in tight to your ribs, unshrug your shoulders, stay. Yeah, stay in it. It's supposed to be difficult, that's the key. In your next inhale, find your back bend, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Enjoy it. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple breaths, settle in. Nice. Press down to your palms. Take your right heel long to the sky. On an inhale, get really long through the right leg. Reach way up. And turn your right toes down to the mat. Even turn your right hip inward. So you keep that length from fingertips through the heel. Draw your low belly in, hollow belly here. One more in. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Shift forward to a high plank. Keep reaching your knee toward your nose. Up and in, round through your spine, up on your left tip toes. Yeah, way up and in. And then gently step through. Rise up to a crescent lunge. So this time, you're on the left ball of the foot here. Nice. See about squaring your hips forward to your right knee and then get really tall through your arms. Nice. Come have a look at you. Yeah, really strong through the left heel. Really drawing it back. See if you can get a little bit more bend into the front knee. Yeah, at the same, there's this active drawing apart. At the same time, squeeze your legs in toward the center line of your body. So as you have this front and back also in together, yeah. And then those same cues, low ribs in, reaching up high, just like we did in standing. And when it gets hard, breathe. Yeah. One more inhale here. Exhale, bring your fingertips down to the mat. Keep your chest reaching forward. See how much bend you can get forward into your right knee. Lengthen through your left leg. Chest reaches forward. Look a little higher. One more in. Exhale, step right back, downward facing dog. And settle into your breath. All these power vinyasa classes that move super fast to a really heady beat. So often I find that moving slow is the harder route. And take your left heel long to the sky. Yeah, length from your fingertips through your heel. Turn your toes down to the mat. Turn your left thigh bone inward, down and inward. Yeah, maybe even to square your hips. Steady breath. Hollow out the belly. One more in. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Really gently start to shift your weight forward to a high plank. Keep your knee up and in, round through your spine, up onto your right tiptoes. Lift. And then step it through, up into a crescent lunge. Press back through your right heel. See about straightening out your right leg if you can. And then bend a little deeper into your left knee. Reach up through your fingertips. Yeah, the widest stance you can get. Wide, and then at the same time, squeeze your legs in toward the midline of your body. So you have this activation inward. Low ribs in, fingertips as high as you can. Your inhales expand in all directions. Exhales settle you in tighter. One more inhale like that. Exhale, keep your chest lifted, fingertips to the ground. See how far forward you can get on your right tiptoes into your left knee. Left heel stays down though. You press forward, forward. Shoulders back, chest forward. One more in. Exhale, step it right back to your dog. Again, breathe. You inhale, take your right leg long, just like you did before. Exhale, super slow, bring your knee to your nose, step it through. This time, pivot your left heel down, bring your right forearm to your right thigh, and your left fingertips reach long overhead. So you have this extended side angle. Yeah, if you are more flexible and you have the option to, maybe your hand can come down to a prop, maybe a block or a book or whatever it is you have at home. Yeah, that cat, use that cat. You could totally use the cat. Yeah, keep drawing your right knee out to the right. Out to the right. If you send your knee over your right pinky toe, at the same time, root through your left heel. So you have this active drawing apart with the hips, low belly in. See about looking up under your left bicep. Each inhale, lengthen. Each exhale, a little bit more bend in the front knee. On your inhale, stand all the way up, straighten out your right leg. Nice, bring your left hand to your hip. Start to reach your right hand as far forward as you can over your right foot. Keep drawing your right hip inward. Yes, you create all that length. And it's when you get to the end of that forward motion, bring your hand down to either your shin or your ankle, or your foot or the floor, wherever it reaches. Re-lengthen your spine. So you can use your left hand to pull your hips back, chest forward. Nice, then start to spiral your chest up toward the ceiling or the sky, and then reach your left fingertips upward. Yeah, steady in the breath, strong legs. Pressing down into both feet, really active in both feet. Find some space in your low belly. Hollow that out. Keep spiraling chest open. One more inhale here. Slight bend in both knees. On the exhale, plant your hands, step it right back, downward facing dog. And your inhale, take your left leg long to the sky. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, shift your weight forward, gently set it down. Pivot your right heel down, open up extended side angle. So it can be left forearm to your left thigh, right fingertips long overhead. Yeah, all those same cues. Strong legs. Keep pressing your left knee out to the left. See if you can get it to go over your left pinky toe in that direction. Yeah, at the same time, root your right heel down and back. This active opening in the hips. Spiral your chest open and bring your right fingers straight up. Steady breath. Each inhale, a little more length from heels to fingertips. I know. I see you, Alyssa. I got you, girl. Each exhale, a little more bend in the knee. And your next inhale, start to lift up, straighten out your left leg. Right hand to your hip. Reach your left fingertips as far forward over your left leg as you can. You keep reaching your hips back. Left hand forward, as much length forward as you can get. Then your left hand comes down. Spiral your chest open, right fingertips up to the sky. You've got all these limbs going in all different directions. It's called Uttita Trikonasana. It's extended triangle pose. Everything's extended, everything's reaching. But see if you can find the center point, your center of gravity. Press into the inside edge of your left foot and the outside edge of your right foot. Yeah, find that center of gravity somewhere around your navel center. One more in. Gentle bend in both knees. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Yeah, in your down dog, strong arms. Keep sending your chest back toward your thighs and your thighs back toward the back of your mat. If you are able to straighten out your legs and hyperextend, then just draw it back a little bit. Just add a little bit of bend to the knees. Yeah, nice. Start to shift your weight forward to a high plank, just like you did before. Middle finger pointing forward, shoulders back, ever so slightly broaden your chest. Steady breath. On your next exhale, lower down, elbows in tight, come down halfway, chaturanga position. Inhale, your back bend, upward facing dog, or baby cobra. Hang out for a couple breaths here. Just let it be open across the front of your body. Stay active in your legs. Your knees, if you're in upward dog, your knees are off the ground. Gently set your knees down. Come back to a child's pose. Knees wide, toes toward one another. Set it back. Just a moment to allow yourself to feel what's just gone around in your body. And start to lift yourself up into a tabletop. Come right up and back, your downward facing dog. Nice. Take your right leg long to the sky, way up and over. This time, bend your knee. Stack your right hip over your left. So you get really open hip there. Keep pressing down firmly in both hands. Yeah, relax your head. Let the effort be structural rather than up in your neck. Nice. Your next inhale, straighten out your right leg. Reach it long. Exhale your right knee to your left elbow. Bring it across. Just a tap. Inhale, right back up. Three-legged dog. Do it again. The exhale, take it across. Inhale, up and back. Last time. Exhale, take it across. This time, kick your right foot out to the left. Lean back on your right hand and take your left fingertips up to the sky. Yeah, strong legs, both legs strong. Keep pressing your hips up higher. Maybe even draw your right hand or your left hand back over you to open up the side of the body. Yeah, one more in. Exhale, gently back. Step your right foot in between your hands. Rise up to a crescent lunge, just like you did before. Nice, get really tall. And keep your legs where they are. Front knee bent, hips low, straight back leg. Hands reaching high. Start to take everything from your pelvic or from your hips through your fingertips. Start to lean it forward. You're only moving your upper body. Lower body stays strong. Fingertips reach. Keep drawing your hips back, fingers forward. It's okay to bend your elbows if that's going to help out a little bit. But you still want to keep that extension out and away. And right from here, bring your fingertips back to pointing to the back of your mat. Draw your shoulder blades back and launch forward onto your right leg. Find an airplane pose. Nice. Yeah, strong through your right leg. See about maybe straightening it out, and if you have it straight, add a little bit of bend. Keep reaching back through your left heel. Keep reaching your chest forward, fingertips back. Yeah, you've put in the opening work. You've put in the stabilization. Now just try to enjoy this pose, as difficult as it can be. Find something to enjoy here. Least of all, maybe your breath. One more inhale here. Exhale, hands down. Take your left heel high to the sky. Find a standing split. I know. Yeah, hands down, left heel high. Keep reaching your head down toward the ground, your left leg up high. Maybe you can walk your hands a little bit closer to your right foot. And maybe one hand can come to the back of your right heel. Maybe even both. Steady breath. It's okay to come out. You just come back now, y'all. You hear? Oh, one more in. Exhale, both feet down, fold and let it go. Bend both knees, let your torso hang. Maybe even a little right to left sway. And find a halfway lift on an inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back and lower down, either to your knees or high to low, push up, chaturanga position. Inhale to peel open, upward facing, or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take your left leg long to the sky. Yeah, this time bend your knees, stack and open your hips. You stack your left hip over your right, evenly pressing down in both hands. As you reach left foot behind you out to the right, see about drawing left shoulder down toward the mat. Yeah, so you have this opposing, leg goes up and out, shoulder comes back down. Your next inhale, reach your left leg long. Exhale, knee to your right elbow. Take it across, just a tap. Do it again. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, tap it across. And then once more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, tap it across. This time, take your left foot out to the right. Right fingertips up to the sky. Lean back into your left palm. See about getting really active in your legs. Engage your quads, engage your hamstrings to lift your hips. Yeah, maybe even your right shoulder open a little bit more. Full breaths. One more. Exhale, right hand back down. Step your left foot through. Rise up to a crescent lunge. Establish your base first. No need to hurry. Deep bend in the front knee. Press back through your back heel. Fingertips up high. And see about creating a straight, more or less, straight line from your hips through your fingertips. Yeah, now start to gently lean that straight line forward. Get really firm into your feet. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you can bring it all the way down parallel to the mat. Just keep your belly off your thigh. And wherever you go, breathe there. Yeah, and if it shakes, let it shake. That's the point. That's it, you telling it something. And take your fingertips back toward the back of your mat. And start to shift your weight forward and stand all the way up on your left leg. Find that airplane. Press back through the right heel. Find a little bit of lift in your chest. Yeah, so heel lifts, chest lifts, same time, straight and strong. One breath at a time. That's all you ever get. One breath at a time. And start to bring your hands down to the mat, your right heel up to the sky. Find that standing split, way up and out. Slight bend in your left knee. Yeah, not sitting in the joint, not adding weight to the bones here. Get into the muscle part of it. And then maybe walk your hands a little bit closer to your left heel. Maybe even one hand can leave the ground, maybe even both. Breath here. Yeah, and then bring both feet down, slightly bend your knees, and just forward fold here. Just hang around. And your next inhale, find a half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, and rinse it out. Last opportunity here. Take your vinyasa. It can be knees down or high to low push-up. Inhale to peel open your back bend. Exhale, downward facing. Step your right foot through. Set your left knee down. Come up tall on the one knee here. Nice. Bring your right hand to the top of your right knee. And take that middle section between your first finger and thumb and set it right between where your glute meets your hamstring, right back here on your left side. Yeah, we all got that crease. You know what I'm talking about. Fit it right up in there. Now press down on that. Press down on that. At the same time, you start to straighten out your left arm. Send your hips forward. Oh, I know. You feel that? Yeah. Okay, now square yourself to your right knee. Start to straighten out your right arm at the same time. Lean your chest back. See about getting a little bit further into your hips. Keep pressing left hand down, right hand forward. Maybe even lean your chest back. Maybe even your gaze up high. Steady breath. I know you reach that edge, it's a little too much, just draw it back. Just draw it back. Work your way in slow. And then gently release your hands down to the mat in front of you. Heel toe your right foot a little bit further out to the right. And then turn your right toes out to the right. So you get this little, maybe a 45-degree angle. Roll onto the pinky toe side of your right foot so your knee can splay away. You get that opening in the knee there. Nice. Now you might want to stay here. You might want to add a little movement. Some people like to put right hand on right knee and encourage a little bit of movement side to side. Just do you for a few breaths here. And after you've added a little movement, bring both hands back down to the ground. So you're still on the pinky toe side of your right foot. Knee is still splaying out to the right. See if you can lower yourself down toward the ground. Now, for some of us, it means staying on hands. Others, maybe it means elbows. Maybe it's elbows to a prop if you have something to lean on. Let's see about continuing to gently bring your hips forward and your breath inward. Yep. Yep, be there. Be right there. And really, really gently start to make your way up and out. Back to hands. Encourage your right knee back into the right, or back into center. And then come back to downward facing dog. Just as a transition, maybe pedal out your feet once you get there. Nice. And when you're feeling good and loose and ready from that side, step your left foot forward. Come up tall onto the one knee. Bring your left hand to your left knee. Again, I'm going to find out what we call this part of the body. I'm sure that's a thing, right? Someone knows what that's called, that piece between the first finger and the thumb. Whatever that is, fit it to the crease on your right side between glute and ham. Start to press down there and bring your hips forward. Start to straighten out your left arm. Maybe lean back into your shoulders there. If you're finding that this brings any compression to your low back, just keep drawing your hips forward, and rather than bringing your chest back, bring it upward. You want to reduce the compression back here in the spine. Yeah, it's okay to try a few different variations. Maybe you have to come out once or twice, but come back in. And then really gently release, hands forward. Heel toe your left foot out to the left, and then roll onto the pinky toe side of the foot. Nice, and take a little movement here. Some folks like forward and back or up and down. You can take left hand to left knee and do a little side to side. And then when you're ready, start to bring both hands back down inside the left foot and start to lower down. Again, this can be all sorts of different levels. Maybe it's palms, maybe it's elbows to a block, maybe it's elbows down to the floor. You just let it be what it is. Yeah, breathe there. Just a few more breaths. Maybe you can press your hips forward a little bit more, just slightly. And then super slow, make your way out. Back through down dog, just as the transition, just to wiggle around and pedal out your feet. All right, now the fun part of the practice. Yay, you love it when I say the fun part. All right, so root down your palms, lift your heels and bend your knees, look forward, and get a little bit of launch ready in your legs. You're just gonna give a little bit of a push. Nice. Now imagine that you're jumping through to sit. Just imagine first. Imagine you're gonna pull your whole body through your arms and end in a seat. You could be cross-legged, you could be down on shins and knees, however it's gonna work for you. Just imagine for a moment. And then before you think about it too much, do it. Let's jump right through to sit. Yeah, and maybe it takes a couple tries if you want to try it again. If you didn't nail it the first time, that's fine. Nice, yeah, I see you, I see you. Awesome. And then go ahead and come back to your hands, release your legs out long. Nice, and take a moment just to wiggle legs side to side. Let it be loose. Get loose in your hips, get loose in your knees. Then plant the soles of your feet and windshield wiper your knees right to left. A lot of times we do this movement from our back, right? You like remember that after back bends or whatever it is. This is a nice release for the low back, but when you're up, right, and your spine is all engaging like this, it can be really kind of interesting feeling in the hips. So if you're feeling something a little wiggly, don't go too far with it, but just, you know, notice what it is. Bring both knees out to the left. Set your left ankle over top your right knee. So it kind of holds it down. Nice. Then start to turn your chest to the right and draw your right shoulder back. You keep your right knee down, but draw the right side back, and maybe even look over your right shoulder. Yeah, and you may be feeling something really deep happening in there. Yeah, that's the gooey stuff. Just stay there, breathe in it. And start to bring it back to center. And then again, a gentle windshield wiper right to left, really slow. You're going to set up for the other side. Knees to the right, your right ankle over top your left knee to weigh it down. Nice. Then start to draw your left shoulder back and maybe your gaze out to the left. And gently release back to center. Maybe a little movement right to left. And then with your hands, press yourself forward onto your sit bones. So you notice when we sit back, we tend to sit on this triangle between the sit bones and the tailbone, right? It's really comfortable, but it doesn't do anything for us. So see if you can press forward onto your sit bones, root down into those sitting parts, and then lift your legs up. And it might take you, to do this correctly on the sit bones, it might require a little kickstand back here to start. And just see if you can balance there. Then maybe start to float your hands, bring them forward. Remember, balancing on the two bones rather than the tailbone. And then if you're feeling real good about this, maybe start to straighten out your legs, reach your toes forward. And it's not going to look like a V sit-up. It's not going to look like this really impressive calisthenics thing, right? It's not supposed to. You get really long with your legs rather than up with your thighs. See about engaging your quads to really point through your toes. Yeah, really strong. Chest up, shoulders back. One more, inhale. Exhale, plant hands and feet, lift up into reverse tabletop. So it's the other muscles now, pressing down, hands down, legs engage, open up across the front of your hips. Maybe even lay your head back if it feels okay in your neck. And then gently release down. Keep your feet where they are, but lie down onto your back. Nice. Shimmy your shoulders in toward one another, a little bit closer. And then press down into your heels to lift your hips. You find a bridge pose. And you can keep your hands by your sides or maybe interlace underneath of you. Keep a little distance between your chin and your chest, just to keep that airway clear there. Nothing to restrict the passage through. But see how closely you can press your sternum toward your chin while leaving that little tiny bit of space. Yeah. Lift hips up higher. Press down into your heels. One more in, slow and steady. Just the same, exhale, slow and steady, release everything down. Nice. One breath in. One breath out. We'll go for another back bend here. If you like bridge, more than welcome bridge pose, just like we did. Shoulders back, heels down, lift your hips. If wheel is a part of your practice, welcome to try it here. Plant your hands. On an inhale, lift your hips up and out. Yeah, and in both variations, really strong legs. See about bringing your legs a little bit closer toward one another. Alyssa, can you heel toe your feet toward one another? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you're in a full wheel, keep pressing down through your palms. Bring your chest through your shoulders. One more big in. Exhale, tuck your chin really gently, release down. Yeah. Awesome. Just a couple breaths here. Awesome back bend, Melissa. That's looking great. We'll go for our third final active back bend, our final active pose of this particular practice. You can get yourself set up bridge or wheel, whichever one is part of you. Get yourself set on an inhale, lift up and out. See about separating muscular effort from mental effort. Can you keep your forehead nice and clear? You keep the space between your eyes soft, while it is still exerting quite a bit of effort here. Big in, big out, and release everything down. Nice. And draw your knees up in toward your chest. Give a squeeze and a little rocking side to side. plant your feet down, knock your knees in toward one another, and walk your feet apart. Yeah, just enough so where your knees can just relax in. This will allow your low back and your sacrum to splay out along the ground, and just let it be soft. And start to walk your legs out long and set up for your final rest, your Shavasana. And all that effort, just let it go. The good times, the bad times, the weird times, it's all temporary. Just breathe and try to enjoy it. Allow your breath to come back in first. A little bit of movement, hands and feet. Take a big stretch up overhead. Reach from fingertips to toes. Big breath in. And then let it go. Gently make your way to a seat, however that works for you, just like we were at the beginning. Just a moment to enjoy the sensations in the body. With these 60-minute classes, it's a little hard to get the whole ooey gooey practice wrapped up into just 60 minutes. So if you need more Shavasana, I would fully recommend take more Shavasana after we sign off here. I really believe that's the most important pose because it allows the processing and the body to just feel what just happened. So if that's calling to you, take it. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and leave it here. You can bring hands together if you like that. If not, that's cool too. Together, big breath in. Big breath out, let it go. The feelings you have are ancient stuff. The practice of yoga is ancient stuff. All the thoughts and all the good stuff in me, all that stuff in you. Thank you for sharing. Namaste.